someone listening in thinking, you know what, I think my site's really full of stuff as well. What do I do? Maybe let's talk through your process. How do you approach that kind of client, and what do you do?
Okay. Ooh, good question. First of all, there's a couple of different diagnostic tools that I will use to help me figure out what's going on with a website. You know, what's the speed coming in at? And then after we know what that is, where are the problems? Like, what's making this speed be the way it is? And I want to say, first of all, that these tools can sometimes be challenging to interpret. I mean, even I still struggle with it. So I don't want to overwhelm someone who's not really overly familiar with how to use this and diagnose. But there is the one I like for people to give to people who don't do what I do. And for just to help them at least start to see and diagnose it's at pingdom.com.
Right.
And if you go there, you need to go down to their footer and they have a little link called tools. Or you could Google this. Google like Pingdom page speed test. So when you find it, what you do is you put your website URL in the top of the tool, and it'll take maybe a minute or so, and it feeds it through its thing, and then it lets you know, it gives you a grade. But don't get fixated on the grade. What you really want to do is, first of all, see like, what's my load time coming in at? And then the great thing about this tool, like this happened the other day. This person's website was loading for about nine seconds in this instance. And I looked and I thought, well, I had a hypothesis about what the problem was. She had a video on her homepage, and the tool showed me this video was 7 megabytes. So what the tool will show you a little graph, and it's really great. You don't need to like know a lot to figure out the graph. The graph will show you, here's how much of the percentage of your site weight is like images. Here's how much is video. Here's how much is scripts. So if you go there and you see, for example, that you have a video somewhere that's 7 megabytes, well, you know, that alone, that's such a low-hanging fruit. Let's get rid of that video. Or there's rarely a time in this instance where I could see justifying having that video on the page. I think you have to ask the question, is the cost worth it? You know, is the cost to our site speed worth it having this video here?
Right. And I guess you could just do that and just look at your conversions over the next 2 weeks and see if it made an impact or not, or maybe more if you don't have that much traffic. But it's very easy to test, right? Just to see that if things improved or not. You
could, yeah. And so it's kind of tough, especially if you don't have a lot of traffic, because if you make an incremental change, it can take a long time to see whether that's netting a positive effect. So in those cases, especially if you don't have much traffic, I actually am an advocate of making more changes, bigger changes, because the cost to your potential traffic or your potential customers is a lot lower. You aren't in a position where you're going to lose a lot of people already, right?
Yes.